Libra, this is your September 24 soul story. If you have a sun, rising or moon in the sign, this is your reading. And this is Romy, so welcome and thank you so much for tuning in to my channel. Okay, we're going to open up with the Queen of Earth. You know, at the beginning of 2024, I said that at times it's going to feel as hard as it did in 2023, but the difference would be that you would feel more equipped, more able to deal with what was coming your way. And I want to remind you of that, because whatever it is that you've got going on, there's a perseverance right now and a focus and a spirited determination that really carries you through. You know, the hard things often are what shape us, and they help us at times to become the best version of ourselves. Maybe not in the moment, but certainly in hindsight. You are incredibly resourceful right now, and September brings in a powerful shift for you. You are being, or have been, refocused and redirected in some way. And September delivers like a huge amount of personal epiphanies for Libra, I feel. Now from the 1st, we're going to see Pluto re-entering Capricorn for this final dance to November 19th, and you're really closing a door. You are drawing a line and you are preparing to have this experience lifted out of your destiny pathway. And you know, that's going to have a profound effect on helping you to deeply assess the way in which it's impacted you since 2008. In your 4th house, as Capricorn sits, you know, there will have been a huge amount that's gone on connected into your family, your lineage, your healing around your inner child. And, you know, in these next few weeks, I think that there's a recognition of not only the karmic debt that has been cleared, and you're working on that with the South Node as well, but also where you've come to understand a karmic echo that might have continued to play out, which is effectively where you have cleared the debt, but yet there's still this vibrational frequency that seems to be operating in your life and has created resistance or blocks. And you really come to terms with understanding what that is. You've seen the way in which you've had to do the work, and so there's this release, I think, that takes place so beautiful in September. And you know, what I'm saying about this month is it sort of has a beautiful intensity. And you know, the new moon in Virgo arriving on the 2nd, as Uranus also steps into a backward spin, comes with a square from Mars and Neptune. So the astrological conversation is kind of an interesting one. You know, it's a little bit disruptive, and we have this choice, this decision, this intention to put a new plan in place for ourselves. We're wanting to make things feel more natural. In fact, I think that's something that's going to be quite strong for you throughout the month, Libra, like this desire to speak more naturally, aligned with things that are important to you, perhaps to eat more naturally, to look more natural and how you're coming across. Like everything sort of feels like underpinning in this theme. There is, however, somewhat of a confusion or a insecurity, I think, that can come up as that tense pressure point between Mars and Neptune sort of creates some distortion. So you're going to have to just stick to the things that are important and what your priorities are, and be clear in your vision, and don't let anybody dissuade you around that, because it's a moment in time. And the thing is, the intentions that you're setting are rooted, and this is about an integrated experience now. It's like putting so much of what you've learned into practice. And we've got the King of Earth here. You know, this is a powerful duo, a powerful combination working with you and for you. And there's this awareness, I think, of you needing to keep choosing the life that you want and the future that you see for yourself, and knowing that it will take a continuous amount of hard work and dedication. But I see you up for it. I see you up for it, and I see you ready to do what is necessary, ready to do what it takes, and also coming into the energy field of either powerful partnerships or people of influence, and really finding that synergy, that harmony, that union that helps draw out of you something that is ready to now be expressed. And I want to say it's surely a firm belief, a self-belief, I think, but one that also has real implications to sort of tangibly manifest things. So this is, a recognition that actually a lot of the things that to other people look really easy, like you're out there in the world and whatever it is that you're doing and how you're showing up, and people are viewing you and going, gosh, it comes so easily to them. And behind the scenes, you're like, you know what, this is the graft and the grind that sometimes felt it was going to break me, but it didn't. And you've just got that stoicism and that inner strength and resolve. And there's something really powerful about how that shapes your experience through September. Now, on the 3rd, I want to highlight is a really powerful day for you. Venus in your sign is conjunct the South Node in your sign. And so the reflection here, particularly around sort of past relationships, romantic relationships especially, but other relationships, and this sort of letting go, the realization that it's time, I'm drawing this line. But it comes, like I said, these huge personal epiphanies in September are so cathartic and quite life-changing for you. So the first week of September has a lot to say, and you know what, you're really listening, you're intent, you're focused, and you're like standing in this energy field that says, I get it, and now I know what I need to do. Okay, and that's a really powerful place to be, especially if you've been acting from a place of uncertainty, or there has been so much sort of unknown around you, and you've had to continuously keep taking these leaps of faith, this blind faith. There's a revealing energy through this month for you that really helps you to look at your own soul story in a new light, okay? As we make our way into that second week of September, Mars shifts into Cancer, Mercury into Virgo, and these changes of the narrative just kind of influence the energy and how we express ourselves and how we can work more effectively with it. And what I'm seeing is that there's a capacity for you to more directly understand how you truly feel about something. But also to notice the details and really ensure that you're at times giving yourself permission to take a step back, if you like, in order to take that much bigger leap forward. I think there's a question that's coming up for you before you get to mid-month, Libra, which is this going to be worth my time and effort? I think the answer to that is yes, because I think there's a reason that it's come across at this moment. What I do believe, though, is that there are aspects of old patterning and conditioning, perhaps outside influence or interference, or, as I sort of suggested earlier, this karmic echo that almost leads you to believe it's not possible, it's not right for me, it'll never happen. And I feel like it's almost like you're revisiting something that you may have tried several times. You may have tried and feel like you failed, or feel like the results were lackluster or were nowhere near what was promised or expected. But there's something different about you in September. There's something different about what you're being shown and how you're feeling about the way that things are unfolding. And I think that you meet that energy of the devil, the temptation, and you sit down with it and you really get to the origin and the root source of it. And when you bring it into the light, you realize that it doesn't actually have the same power and control over you that it once did. And again, this is another moment of epiphany happening. Now on the 14th, there's a beautiful aspect coming through. Venus is trining with Jupiter. Venus in your sign, Jupiter in Gemini. This air energy works so wonderfully for you. And the messages that come through are powerful because they talk about how to progress. They talk about expansion. They talk about opportunity. They talk about the value of something. And what we see coming through for you, Three of Earth, is it's deeply like creative, but also really constructive. It's like, right, I know what I can do with this. This is what you're showing me in September. It's like, you know, you've got all of this earth energy sort of underpinning and helping you to strengthen and build upon a new foundation. Now, yes, your majors are intense. That's why I'm saying there's a beautiful intensity to it. You know, it's going to at times feel to you like, God, this is hard work. But actually, like, I'm kind of enjoying it because I'm seeing the rewards and the results and the progress almost instantaneously. And perhaps that's the difference of, you know, what you've experienced in the past. Now, keep an eye out around the 14th because what shows up is very prominent. So the conversations, what's received via email, via text, phone call, letter, like there's something coming through, and the news holds promise and possibility, and also I think reminds you of perhaps maybe why you didn't give up or why you shouldn't give in quite yet. Now we approach the 17th and we've got a whole new storyline emerging, right? The full moon lunar north node eclipse in Pisces begins this story between Pisces and Virgo that we'll be working with over the next couple of years. And remember, these lunar eclipses are exposing concealed realities. So something coming up around this that's also creating this conversation within yourself around logic or intuition, fact or fantasy, and you're trying to get to the bottom of something. At its core, there's something deeply healing about what's happening and what gets revealed. But remember, eclipses can come in a bit suddenly and unexpectedly. And so even if the end game is one of healing, this is just the very beginning of sort of talking about what this is and how it's going to impact you over this next period of time. And so you're not necessarily getting all the answers, but you're getting a glimpse and a preview and an opportunity from a timing perspective to prepare yourself. I think it's almost like as you wrap up one chapter, you now feel decidedly ready to take on the next sort of level or the next round. And, you know, whilst there may be a part of you that says, when does this ever end? We understand our healing never ends. It's, you know, a continuous deepening cycle that we participate in this lifetime and the next. But as I said, you know, your karmic debt being understood, this karmic echo now being shown and revealed to you in ways that you can make sense and really release that. 10 of Wands, we've got her burning, you know, the fire here. And remember, the 10 of Wands for me, it's like, yes, the arduous, obligatory, dutiful nature of the path that you've walked has felt like you've been bound to it, but there's something now about the release. We're getting to the end of a cycle. We've got death, we've got the 10 of Wands. Like, this is you at a point of culmination with something. And, you know, as we approach the equinox and move into your energy, Libra, to celebrate your solar returns, we also have Venus in Scorpio that same day. So there's a real intensity about that reset moment of equinox coming in. And, you know, you're looking at it with focus and with I want to say a somewhat serious tone. You know, there might be something going on that really holds weight in terms of the impact that it has and the consideration that you're giving it and what this means for me, what I've had to endure, what I've been through up to this point, and these major choices and decisions that sort of have been percolating in your mind and also in your heart, coming to a point of like clear conclusion. And I think that's a powerful place to be, even though I think there could be a vulnerability about it. There's a sort of readiness to then align and go all in with something, a specific direction, a certain path, a choice, a decision. And then when we move towards the end of the month, Libra, Mercury shifts into your sign on the 26th. That will be a beautiful time to just get your thoughts clear and be able to communicate in an effective way. And in fact, I think communication this month is really interesting. It's almost like you're getting answers of either how to communicate differently, more effectively, more in alignment, more naturally. Like there's something around that that feels very true for the month of September. But the 29th also brings us Mercury conjunct the South Node again in your sign. So you are being reminded of very important lessons from the past. And what it does is an acknowledgement of them. It's sort of opening up a portal, opening up a opportunity to then communicate and express yourself differently, to realize, acknowledge, again, draw a line under something. This is having huge implications. I don't think you quite realize the significance of what the energy of September is doing in terms of reorientating your soul story and redirecting you in just such a powerful way. And that will shape the relationships that form a part of your world as well, because once you know what you know, you cannot go back in terms of your perception, not necessarily going back into a situation, but just your perception and your understanding is irrevocably changed. So the minute that you try to regurgitate like an old way of thinking or seeing something, it won't be available to you. It will be impossible. And that's a really powerful, scenario for it to happen. I also think this month there's a strong sense of like, that's not my job. That's not my job. So you're going to be repeatedly either put upon or asked or pulled on to be participating or involved or taking something on. And I really see you standing strong and being quite affirmative and just like, that's not my business, that's not my job, that's not the work for me to do, and sort of redirecting it. And doing that in a loving, healing way, but being very, very clear on what your focus and priority is at this moment. And that matters, because when we're working with these majors, with death and with the devil, like there's something that they want you to listen to. Yeah, we are making profound changes and they're not easy. There's a discomfort in that. There's at times excruciating feeling of like, oh, do I have to go through this? There's an awful lot of shadow energy that comes up here. So you simply do not have the time or space or capacity to take on others' stuff, or to be somehow, almost coerced or in any way made to feel like you have to take on more than what you've already got, because quite frankly, that's enough, okay? So if you're new to my channel, our last 3 cards, Libra, we look at in the extended version of my reading. You can find the link in the comment and description box underneath. We talk for another 30 minutes or so. We're going to look at a personal card and a relationship card for you as well. It's a way to support me on the channel. I really appreciate you if you're able to make the investment. It helps me to keep showing up for the free readings. If that's out with a possibility for you, you can also support me in the super chat beneath the video, and thank you again. So I'm going to go ahead and clarify these cards, just see the direction that we're going to be taking this extended reading. Okay, we've got High Priestess coming through and the 8 of Swords. Okay, King of Earth, we have the 4 of Pentacles and the Hermit. Now this month you can check out my Sacred Soul Support Guided Journeys. I've got a lunar eclipse. We've also got our Equinox soul journey to support you with your rituals. And please check out my website, romywiser.com. You're going to find over there my oracle deck, my book, Ways to Work with Me, and then all of the tools that I create to support you on your spiritual journey right now, okay? 2 of Swords. Hermit and Hanged Man coming through, and High Priestess. Huge amounts of wisdom being bestowed upon you in terms of the downloads and the activations. Another Devil showing up, interesting, for you to pay attention to. Another 10 coming in there with Justice. I really feel like we've got the conclusion. And we talked about that a little bit last month with Juno shifting into your sign, Libra, as well. And as more of these planetary influences gather, there's just a timing for something to be brought to a point of closure. Not before time. Okay, so we're going to look at Life Soul Vision Oracle now, see where this is going to take us. The Sun, beautiful. We've got Sacred Soul Union. Crown energy, casting out constellations. This is the way, this is the work. We've got Spirit Bear, ancestral protection, and we have Soul Star energy, a reminder of that wisdom and the downloads that are coming through for you. Very powerful in this month of September. Okay, one more oracle for Libra. What do we have? We've got the healing stones, tenderness, care, gentleness, nourishment. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you'll join me on the extended. You'll find a link below. Have a great solar returns if your birthday is this month. I will see you again next time. You take good care. you.